Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like for you to meet. This here is Willie Floyd. He is a linebacker at the University of Charleston. Nice to have you today, sir.
How you doing? How you doing? It's nice to be here.
Nice to meet you, sir. I feel like a lot of people need to get to know you. Have a very interesting story. Dude out of Miami finds himself in Charleston, really dominating the Mountain East Conference these past couple seasons, man. But let's go ahead and get rolling, bro. Introduce yourself and let's get going.
How everybody doing? I'm Willie Floyd. I'm from Miami, Florida. Now I go to the University of Charleston. Basically I went to Miami Care City high school. Went from there, got recruited by Mr. K. He ended up transferring to a different school, but I got a season or two with him. And yeah, just been up from there, head down, chop wood is my saying.
Cool. Well, Willie, help answer a couple questions for me as we kind of lay the foundation for you as a football player. How long have you actually played football?
I started early, so around like four-ish, five, I got on the park. We wasn't good at first, but ended up finding a good group and stuck with them the whole little league. And we stayed from there, won 5 championships back to back to back to back. And so I feel like that winning is in the DNA.
Gotcha. And so growing up, were you always a linebacker? Did you always play defense? Can you talk me through like your experience early on as an athlete?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. I started off with offense. I used to play a little bit of quarterback, receiver, running back, tight end, anything that you need. I snap the ball if you needed me to. But I started off on offense, and then as I started picking up, it was like you can't just play one side of the ball. So ended up playing both sides, a little bit of DN at first, safety. I never actually played backer until like the end of my little league career. I ended up just like putting on some more weight. Like, hey, just try out backer for once. And for my liking, I was rocking with it. It was smooth. I didn't know like it was less space other than safety. And then you just got to deal with O-line, but they can't be that fast.
Well, I mean, obviously it's done well for you, and you've made the best of it. Do want to get us to your time at Miami Carroll City High School. Um, buddy, football is big in Miami, in that area. And so it is no joke. You guys get a chance to play against some of the top talent really in the country, even at the high school level. Can you talk about you as a high school player and maybe share one of your fondest memories?
It was a big adjustment, dealing with such great talent that we have and playing against high class people. Played against James Cook, Naquan Wright, just some big names at running back that you have to deal with on a daily basis. That's normal. So it was really hard adjustment just going from a freshman, wetting the socks probably 190 to my senior year of actually having to step up and be the man and knowing that everybody else is looking behind me, having that pride, which they helped us grow into like everything was, you're doing this, that, you're gonna play Carroll City football, and this is what it is. There's no other options for you. So that's really Miami football for you.
Gotcha. So, Willie, how does a guy from Miami end up in the middle of nowhere in Charleston, West Virginia? Talk to me about you and your recruiting and how you ultimately ended up there.
So first I was my first offer was Florida Atlantic, FAU, for running back, and
All
then
right.
ended up changing positions. I ended up changing positions to linebacker. They got a whole new coaching staff, and so that kind of just washed away. Uh, got recruited to Alabama State right before signing day. Some things happened, and they I guess they got a new coaching staff as well, and they went a different direction. And it just so happened a school down the street from me, Florida Memorial and University of Charleston had called. It was like, we got a spot for you if you want it. And I was with Coach K. And I was like, I never took a visit anywhere. I was right before signing day. I was like, I'd be mad at myself if I didn't take the shot. And so I went with it, just if this is what I'm doing, I'm gonna do it to my best of my ability. And we went from there.
Gotcha. Maybe perhaps a little bit of a culture shock coming from Miami to Charleston. Talk about Charleston for people that may not be familiar with the school, the campus. Why is that place so special for you now?
It's a switch up scenery. It's nothing like Miami from what I'm used to. The city life, everything is spacious. I never tried cookout before until I went up there. Even tutors, that was my first time trying tutors. So it's really a different scenery. Life is much more slow paced. Nobody's in a rush. People are nice over there. Not saying people are nice over here, but it's a nice lifestyle. It gets a little cold. That's the only thing.
It's fine. People there, they don't have the fast-paced mindset. Let's just say that much of a huge city like Miami, of course. And so it is what it is, small town. But they're very passionate about their sports out there for
Yeah.
Charleston. Been a very successful program these past couple seasons. Winning the conference, really dominating things. Talk about your role that you've had over these past few seasons there with your school.
So when I first came in, it was big special teams guy. So you got to earn your bones. Kick off, kick return, punt return. Just that was my main thing. I know it's rare that freshmen usually start and produce, but I knew a chance that I got to get on the field was play special teams. So that was the first thing on my list. Work on these things, work on those things. Ended up getting a starting spot on each one, and then went from there to my sophomore year where I got a chance to start. And that was my breakout season. I had about 93, 94 tackles. And that was the first year I actually had to step in and take that leadership role, which, it's always a cultural change when, you're the head man and everybody's looking at you. And so our defensive coordinator at the time was J Rock. And so he basically gave me this book right here that really helped me out, Atomic Habits. And so he was like, just read it. I know you'll be all right with it. You got to learn regardless. But he was like, that book gonna help you with a lot of things. It was passed down to him. He passed it down to me and said, you'll be all right. And so went from there. My sophomore and junior season had Coach J Rock, and then he ended up going to Division I school, and then we had got a new we had somebody that was in house, Coach Marshall Cooper, and he just tried to elevate me to the next level. Learning, putting time in the film, understanding things, understanding why we do certain stuff, all these things, and basically just helping me step in that role as a leader, where everybody is gonna, I gotta pass the torch to somebody one day.
Of course. And one thing about these past few seasons for you, man, you've been a team captain. You've also been named first team all conference these past couple seasons. So obviously you had a lot of great success. Um, Talk just a tad bit more about really what it means to be a leader there for that school. Obviously, being a team captain, a team leader, a leader, for the team, and in that, you know, on campus, off campus, and that sort of thing. Talk about it a little bit.
It's really about being somebody that other people could look at, the example basically. And it's not about, all the glam and glory that it comes with, all these extra gadgets that you get, but it's more about, I did these the right things that I did. And I'm showing you that it's not only about, what you could get, it's about why are you doing it? It's not, I'm a leader because I can't be no follower. I gotta be the one that's gonna call the shots. And I want to be the one that's like it's going to be on my back regardless. And so being a leader is more than just telling people what to do. Is showing people what to do. Is telling them that like all right, I did it this way, this way, this way because it's the right way to go. Not taking shortcuts.
Gotcha. Willie, of course, I'm talking to you as a guy who really wants to make it to the league. Obviously, we want to showcase you and some of the best things you have going for you as a prospect. Go ahead and hit us with it, man. What do you feel separates you as an athlete? What do you feel is like the best you bring to the table?
I feel like you don't meet dominant football anymore. With all the new rule changes and everything, you don't meet people that's just gonna like 7 plays. You're gonna get hit 7 times. You're not gonna meet somebody that's downfield, that's gonna respect the game and play it the way football is meant to be played, which is hard nosed. That's what I learned to play, and that's what I bring to the table. Reading offense, making sure that you're putting time inside. Luke Kuechly said it the best. He stayed in the film room, and that's if he's one of the best and he's doing that, it's a rhyme behind the reasoning. So definitely understanding and picking apart offenses, understanding like, all right, first down, they're going to do this, Tennessee's, anything like that. Understanding that you got to know everybody's position on the field. You never know if somebody be like, "What's my play?" I tell the corner, the safety, the DN, anybody who needs to know their play. I know everything.
Gotcha. Uh, Willie, I think one of the things that may also help you as a prospect is one of the guys that you see every day in practice is actually the best, really one of the best running backs, not just in Division II, but the country.
Yes.
And so talk to me a little bit about what it's like to play against, practice against, that guy. Go ahead and talk through some of your boys there.
Oh, my boy Trayvon Wright. He we challenge each other every day, even if it's in a weight room, life, football. Everything is more about just learning from each other. We grew up together. From little league all the way up. Ended up going to different high schools, but we found a way to come to college together. And it's really just a learning curve. He teach me things, I teach him things. It's more about seeing what's in his bag and he seeing what's in my bag and learning from it. It's even if we might probably won't go 100% and hit each other every day, but he's showing me new cuts, new ways to tackle, and I'm showing him like, all right, I'm taking this step for this and that. And it's basically just learning off each other. You don't see a high class back like that every day. And so just learning off each other and just knowing that like, I'm not going to see another person like this day in, day out. So just trying to take advantage of it the most as I can.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of people need to know Javon Wright. If they don't, they need to get to know him. He's going to be one of these guys next year who I know is going to be up on a lot of people's boards. So,
Yes.
um, again, want to refocus on you. Obviously, again, one of the leaders there, really helping the team with some of this success over the past couple seasons. Um, Even in 2023, you guys did a fantastic job winning the conference. And then once again, this season, y'all went 11-1, only having the one loss in the playoffs, which I know is unfortunate, but having a lot of great games, a lot of great moments along the way. Talk us through a couple of these moments, if you don't mind. The one that first comes to mind for me is you guys playing up against Charleston, or I'm sorry, California, PA, very early on in the season. Because I mean, obviously, a lot of people were really talking up that offense. You guys were able to shut them down. Talk to me about how you guys were able to do that.
That was really a film room game, other than, us knowing that they're going to try to, tote the rock and, power us saying that we're little. So the main thing was just knowing what they're doing. And we spent a lot of time, hats off to our coaching staff at Charleston, but they knew exactly what we was going to do. And our game plan was set out straight that we're going to stop the run, that we're going to make them pass. And don't get me wrong, they have a good quarterback. Davis Black, he was at Charleston with me as well and ended up transferring. But I knew him and, great quarterback. And it was like, we knowing that you got to put the rock in his hand, making him decide, like, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us. And that was really, a physical
Yeah,
game, though.
yeah, but obviously, you were able to get one over on him that particular game, along with several tackles. You also had a sack in that game. Can you walk me through that sack? I mean, for your former teammate, man, like how did that work?
So basically, I was on the edge, and I was thinking it was more of a RPO, and he ended up holding the ball for a little too long, second too long. That's all it takes. It's always a second or a second like that you're away. So it was like I just took it, shot it, and got the sack. But I've been waiting to, in practice we can never touch quarterbacks, or we got punishment.
Gotcha. Aside from that game, that moment, do you have maybe perhaps one of your favorite memories from this past season?
I give it to Frostburg. All right, like that was a game that I feel like the whole team just clicked, and that was a top matchup that everybody was hyping up with two ranked opponents, and we just coach told us like we don't care about that. I talked to the team before we came out. I was like, I don't care about any of the rankings, any of what everybody say. What matters is what we do on this field. And we went out there and just a master class of just we're going to dominate you, and you're not going to do anything about it. And that was the game plan, and that's what we did. We executed it to a T.
Well, I mean, definitely two formidable defenses, but I mean, again, you guys were able to get the better of them, and so hey, it definitely worked for you guys this season. Um, Obviously, man, closed up shop eventually this season. It ended very well. Of course, with an 11-1 record. How's it going to look with you stepping out and moving on, man? I mean, what are some of the other guys other than like the big name star there? Who are the other guys there that we need to look forward to next
Oh,
season?
my boy Adam Miller. He he was one of the freshmen that came in and started immediately, and I left the torch to him. He already knows what it is, and he's seen it from my perspective already of like, all right, these are things that you're going to have to do. Like sometimes you're going to have to bite the bullet. Some days, you're the one that's going to have to, you're going to lead the team. So you got to hide that emotion and all that. You're going to have to be the one that's frontline. And so I definitely left him the torch. I taught him things, and he taught me things along the way. But I definitely feel like they're in good hands with him.
Cool. So Willie, what are you doing these days as you're preparing for the pros, man? Like, do you have like a facility that you're at? Do you have a trainer you're working with? Like, what's your current status these days?
I'm going to work on like my speed and everything. I'm going to one of my old track coaches that I used to run with, Coach G. He knows what he's doing, and so he basically just told me, come through anytime. We work on that, and then I go with my brother to field work. He played quarterback and a little bit of receiver, so he helps me with that aspect. And then with the gym, I'm a night gymmer, so I like going at night, get it in when it's empty.
Gotcha. So what are we looking forward to for your pro day or any of the other things you got going on, man? Is there any particular part of what you have to bring to the table that maybe you feel is underlooked?
I really say my 40 and my bench press. I come to wow people. I want to stand off the paper. I want you to see that I'm not just some backer. I'm a person that you need to take serious.
Cool. So gonna run a nice 40, gonna have a pretty decent bench. What are we looking at? Maybe 20, 25 reps? I mean,
That's
you
the goal.
getting up there?
Yeah, if I could touch 30, I would.
All right. Well, definitely an interesting, goal, of course. Depending on how things work out for you. I mean, I don't know how scouts are maybe looking at you. Maybe they're looking at you as a guy who, maybe could come in even on offense. I don't know if that's even part of the way that it would work for you. I mean, let's pull him in as a fullback or something like the old days. But I think, generally speaking, I think a lot of teams are probably going to look you to come in on special teams like day one. Can you talk a little bit about your attitude and approach to special teams and just kind of maybe your favorite position on special teams?
Really, special teams is part of the game. It's three pillars of the game: blocking, tackling, and special teams. So it's nothing that you like. You can't get rid of it. So I mean, me personally, when I come to it, is serious. Just like I take defense serious. I'm going to study the footwork, the how to play. I was an R5 when I was on kickoff, and I was the favorite. That you don't really got a responsibility other than go to the ball. And so that was actually fun. You probably got to keep your head on the swivel and for any cracks or anything, but it's really about just making a play. Helping your defense out regardless. When I was a freshman, that was my mindset of, all right, I got to get them this position so our defense don't have to work as hard. You know, they have to drive an 80-yard drive, you know, things in that nature. But that's, you know, and then especially with punt. Punt was like an easier one for me because not too many times you're going to get a full out rush. And, you know, I'm not a small body, so I can absorb some contact, and then just running down the field was easy. You know, tackling, that's part of it.
Nice. Appreciate you sharing that and for us getting to know you as a football player. I do want to take a moment to meet the guy under the helmet. I want to know who this Willie Floyd guy is. I mean, if you have any interesting fun facts about yourself, if you want to share your hobbies or any other interests or anything, tell me a little bit more about you.
So basically, you know, I like staying inside. You know, I'm a big family person. You know, grew up with a lot of siblings, so it's not. It feels crazy to me to be by myself. So usually I'm with my teammates, with my brothers. We just chilling, or you know, most of the times we go bowling. I got two bowling balls in my trunk that stays
All
there
right.
whenever I need to go. I consider myself a semi-pro bowler. You know, so
All
just
right. What's your personal best?
a 254.
54 is definitely respectable. It's very hard to get. That means you're bowling bunch of strikes, getting some turkeys.
Yeah.
Um the it's definitely fun. I want to see if maybe I can throw some other questions your way, just kind of for fun, maybe like a short question answer period. So again, not looking for too much, but if you can just kind of follow along. Um, uh, let's say, is there maybe like a TV show that you recommend that I binge watch?
Oh, that's the office. That's the office any day of the week. You know, I'm a big office person. You know, that's I could watch it to go to sleep. If I was in the middle of camp, I just left it on. No matter where you pick up, it's just a funny show.
Definitely a hysterical show. Uh, if people have never watched it, it's just either you get the humor or you don't.
I feel like
Uh,
dad humor, you know.
no, it's good. It's fine. Do you have a favorite actor or comedian?
No, it's Michael Scott. It's he's he got it hands down. Just
All
any show,
right,
Steve Carell, any show or movie that he plays in, just he know how to embody it and do his job regardless.
gotcha. Couple more fun things. Do you have any pets or anything or no?
Oh yes, we have a dog. We have two dogs, American Bulldog and a gray nose pit.
All right, cool. Let's say here, give a shout out to your family real quick, man. Favorite home cooked meal.
Oh, home cooked meal. I have to go with shrimp and salmon pasta. My mom cooks. She throws down anytime, or if it's like a restaurant, it's I got a restaurant. It's a Nicaraguan restaurant right down the street from my house. Hands down, if you ever come to Miami, I gotta take you there. That's my hands down favorite.
Interesting. So sounds like you're a pretty solid seafood eater. Uh,
Yes.
so that's fine. Obviously, not everybody can do it, but I hear you. Um, let's say, oh, I don't know, man. I mean, I know you have a lot of I don't know people that maybe you're a fan of. Is there a celebrity that you love an opportunity to meet, whether it be actor, athlete, or anybody who's famous, anybody who you love a chance to meet?
Troy Polamalu was my one. you know, when I first started football, that was like the reason I was like, oh, so attracted to it. You know, with the hair and everything, and then the way he played so relentless. He wasn't the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, but he was the smartest. He was gonna understand why he was in certain positions, and just having the opportunity to talk to him, and it'd be like, how did you know these things? Like it was more than just film to him. It was more than just a game. You know, he played it with his life. Like he wasn't gonna have take it and miss his opportunity. He was the person that was gonna go for
Gotcha. I mean, I assume that's where some of the hair comes
it.
from.
Yeah.
Maybe you're taking the advice from the commercials, the Head and Shoulders commercials. Like I don't know, but when I think of Troy Polamalu, I always think of this great, wonderful competitor who is like always there. And the one image that I have in my head is him jumping over, beating the snap count. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know if you know what I'm talking
I
about,
know.
but
I
that's
tried it. I tried it before. I remember seeing it, and I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. It's no like I have to. I tried it, and I jumped over. Ended up, I got an offside. It was. I tried it though. It was
well,
literally I have to.
it's fine. Like you gotta try it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's the only way. You either try it or you don't try it.
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, talking about one of the greats ever to play the game. Who do you think's doing it at your position at the elite level in the NFL right now?
I gotta give it to Fred Warner. I enjoy watching him. Just breaking down his film, the way he shoots gaps. You know where his hole is. He can disguise as well. He plays in coverage. He can stop the run. It's really about being a all around back.
Gotcha. And then as we close up shop, certainly for a guy like you, uh, tell everybody what makes you a, a prospect that really deserves an opportunity at the next level. Close with your thoughts and tell people why you need that opportunity. So go for it.
Really, I'm just thankful to be here. And my main thing is I bring dominance and leadership. I'm not a follower. I'm not the type that's just gonna go with the flow. I believe in proactive, not reactive. And I believe in throwing the first punch. I'm the person that you're going to look at, like, all right, he's going to bite the bullet. He's going to be the first one in line to go. And I feel like that's what not too many people have. And just a person that's just going to go regardless. I love the game. And so I'm going to do about it right. I ain't going to take shortcuts or anything like that. I'm the person that's going to personally take care of everything, even if it's film room, making sure everybody got the right job, anything like that. I'm the person to do that. I'm proactive about everything.
Gotcha. The thing I wrote down was tone setter.
Yes.
Whether that be on defense, obviously as a team leader who was a team captain these past few seasons, or a guy who can go out there on special teams and make an impact play. Obviously, Willie, want to wish you all the best moving forward. All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity as well.
Sure, man. Well, again, best of luck to you. Again, I got with me Willie Floyd. He is a linebacker out of the University of Charleston. Check him out.
Yes, sir.